Sorry, but I can't stop laughing. I'm talking so much rubbish in the first takes and I can't stay serious, so I'm just gonna completely ignore what happens now. I noticed that a little more sarcastic for some reason. The device actually doesn't deserve it, but it'll have to go through that. So maybe don't take everything serious I'm gonna say. I'm gonna skip the intro otherwise, and I'm just gonna say that you will get your information. Just not quite in the way you're maybe used to it. So let's get to it. Now in terms of design, it's quite thin and actually quite lightweight, as you can see. No, you can't. With 1.3 kilograms for a non-flagship laptop, this is fine. Also the build quality, it does feel a little bit hollow, and on the bottom as well. And now here are the things that just made me start laughing because I noticed I'm so sarcastic. Ventilation is fine. Plastic feet not so much because they don't protect it from sliding, so I would like to have that soft rubberized. I also want speakers on the bottom to go, same as the next thing. Why are there still two ports for that one port could do? Charging, we don't need an extra port, so please Dell, make this fade away and just use this, which also isn't Thunderbolt but just DisplayPort. Just keep that in mind. Full size HDMI slot, USB 3.0 and the headphone jack. On the top we have, or in the front, the useless LED that just tells you that you have to charge, as if you wouldn't know without, and a little bit of a cutout that doesn't really help you. Anyways, full size SD card reader, that is super nice. USB 3.1 again, and the lock. Now let's try to open it with one hand. Yeah, absolutely not gonna happen on a Dell device. Therefore their hinges are way too stiff, which is okay in some way, even though there's a little bit of flex, but that is fine. But yeah, stiff hinges are Dell's trademark. What is also Dell's trademark are small bezels that you definitely get. And on the US version you would also get a touchscreen, which in Germany isn't a thing for some reason. We don't need that or don't want that, I don't know. Build quality here continues to be good as well. We have a fingerprint reader, that one works, as you can see here, really good, usually very fast and so on. The next thing that I want to get into is the keyboard. Same as the whole device and the trackpad, it also feels a little bit, not cheap, but just not premium, because it has a little bit of the texture of a cheaper Chinese keyboard. But layout, very nice with secondary functions, good cursors, backlight, and a very good tactile feedback. It's also quiet, pretty much no flex, you really have to press hard, and this as a whole makes it a very good typing experience. But the same also actually goes for the keyboard experience, because I mean the trackpad experience, because once we switch, yep, which does not want to happen. Okay, as you can see, it is very precise and everything works out. The great thing is this is a precision trackpad, which means 4-finger, 3-finger gestures with tapping and all that for all your gesture needs. This is great. The only thing is not the precision or anything, not even the texture, but this texture just feels good in terms of grip, but it also feels a little bit cheap like plastic. So this is the whole scheme here, because very well done, but not premium feeling materials. So let's get into the next thing. The qualities of the display. Let me zoom in a little bit, and here you can see the good thing is actually about this device. You can see the hinge goes to about 180 degrees. Not that it really needs to, but it's definitely quite handy. 98% of Adobe RGB, no, sRGB, and 76 per Adobe. Now I had it, Adobe. That's also not a thing. Okay, gamma a little bit off. Now the values: 300 maximum and 15 minimum. This is fine with nice black values. Contrast is also good, and the white point is a little bit on the colder side, which actually most people I think would like. Now the white actually looks mostly very uniform, but there is a little bit of a thing here maybe going on, and I've noticed this on another take, which is actually gone, because there is a little bit of ununiformity. It seems to be gone once the display gets a little bit warmer. But something is a little bit weird here, because the black, really good. There is a little bit of light bleed, but nothing you should really bother. The display, 1080p, works sharp enough. It's actually quite a clear display, nice colors, vibrant, and due to a glossy display also quite saturated, and they just pop. And I like them, definitely like them. Maybe, yeah, just in terms of overall quality, there's nothing really to complain. No, there is not. So let's just go into the speakers. The speakers. No? The camera, the mic doesn't pick it up, but what actually just happens is that I'm blasting at 100% loudness in my bedroom downstairs. Yeah, to keep it quick, not impressed. Okay at best. They aren't really loud, they are bottom firing, especially on your laps. They are very muffled. They don't sound particularly amazing. The good thing is, yeah, we have max audio adjustments and all fine, but it doesn't really make a okay speaker more than okay. What is great though is absolutely the headphone jack, because super crazy loud with still good quality, doesn't really distort or anything, so that is really good. Now let's get to the next thing, the performance. Yep, I have it already here. 500 of read with not even 200 of write speed is definitely not a great. What was good to 10 seconds for boot time. Yeah, but oh me. Okay. I think it's good that this is one of my last laptop reviews for a while. Okay, performance absolutely fine. Scrolling in the browser with the quad core here works absolutely great. Just about as multitasking as well. And I'm just gonna narrow it down. Since this is the quad core, of course, all daily tasks get handled still noticeably better than on a dual core, even though not maybe amazing or something like that. But if you wanna render videos or make some Photoshop and so on, you will definitely enjoy this most compared to any normal dual core. This is definitely still not an HQ, since this is still a low voltage quad core, but it is a quad core. So not the best experience still, but way better than on any normal Ultrabook. The i5 or i7 doesn't really matter. Does it throttle? No, it didn't, because that also leads me to the temperatures. They stayed in the mid-70s at a room temperature of about 23 degrees, which is absolutely stable, absolutely moderate, because it didn't really get warm anywhere. Not on the bottom, not anywhere, because... Yup. Noise, that is another thing. We have coil whine, and maybe even audible. It is audible, even if you maybe just scroll. It isn't something that really bothered me in normal use, but for some people who are maybe a little bit more sensitive in a quiet environment, it is actually noticeable, and on charge even more so. So, Dell, please fix the coil whine. This is something that will put off even more so people, because you have this issue for years already. I don't know why it's still a thing. Why? But otherwise, in my normal testing, normal use, never the fan once turned on. Only while I did my load test, and then like after 7 minutes it actually turned on. And the fan is actually absolutely not loud, but it's very high pitched, so a little bit on the annoying side, but not loud. That's good. Battery life, a full charge takes 2.5 hours. That's normal, I would say. Battery life at about 5 hours on average is good, but not more, because once again I use no sorts of battery saving technologies of the display. So no adaptive display, no adaptive refresher or anything, which usually leads me to have, with my high brightness that I use, like 20-25% less battery life than normal testers get. So maybe factor that in, and considering everything else, it's still just good. Same as the software, nothing really normal, out of the ordinary. What am I even doing here? This reminds me of my insanity review that I did for the Samsung Galaxy S3. So, here we have them. Port selection, very good. That's actually the summary, in case you haven't noticed. Oh yeah, oh no. Build, very good. Just doesn't really feel very premium. Design, really good, especially considering the price. Fingerprint reader, really good. Keyboard, very good. Trackpad, very good. Just feels a little bit like cheap plastic. Stylus, not available, at least I've maybe missed it, which is absolutely possible. Display really good and solid, just not really impressive, and I would have wished for a little bit something more to give it a very good, but I can't really complain about it. Display was still fully satisfying. Speaker definitely not, because it's just about okay and that's it. Headphone jack crazy, very loud and good quality, so great. Performance, very good. SSD speeds could have been faster though. Temperatures, absolutely fine and stable. Noise, no fan noise in normal use, but a high-pitched one under load. Battery, good. Software, good. And the value, really good. A few extra notes. Input devices could feel a little bit more premium, just like the exterior actually as well. Audible coil whine during use, and even more so while charging and using it. Very good all-rounder though, without any critical flaws. And that was my mouse. Now it's on the floor. In case you wonder. So, let's check the configurations. 850 was the lowest end model at 8 gigs, 256 gigs of SSD with an i5 quad-core. Fully recommendable. Absolutely. Value is nice. Overall, you get a top package without any critical flaws. Yeah, absolutely. You could spend, I think, like $70 more to get the i7, which you don't really need to. The higher end versions with the 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of SSD, I don't think are really necessary. Because whoever wants to spend that much goes into the next tier, for example, maybe for an XPS 13. So if you want good value, overall good qualities, yep. I'm actually gonna release this. This is the weirdest part, I think. But I really hope no one watches. Okay. If you have any further questions, there. Bye.